Why come we can't expend the same amount of political capital when we're talking about black people? When I'm looking at the squad, and everybody in the squad was getting lost out, tossed out on their head, getting shellacked, are black people in the squad standing up for Palestinians. Hell, if you want to lose your job, you can lose your job fighting for Tyrone and Tina. Congresswoman Cori Bush lost her race.
Down for us. What did we learn last night, Steve?
Yeah, well, as you say, on the House side here, we had this about a month ago in New York, the story of a member of the so-called squad losing in a Democratic primary. Let me show you how it happened in the Cori Bush race, incumbent Cori Bush losing to challenger Wesley Bell in the Democratic primary. This is the 1st congressional district of Missouri. I'm going to zoom in here because it's geographically small, but population dense here. And basically, the story here is there's St. Louis City. It's the city of St. Louis is entirely within this district, but the population in St. Louis has been really going down. It's under 300,000 now, so the district isn't just...
Yeah, she didn't get more votes than the other guy. Okay, that's why she lost, okay? That's the real reason. But why didn't she get the votes? She didn't get the votes because she was outspent. I don't have the numbers on how much she was outspent, but I know for a fact that AIPAC gave Wesley Bell or contributed $9 million worth of whatever to his campaign. $9 million. And I know for a fact Cori Bush did not raise $9 million. She did not match that. I would be surprised if she had $2 million. This is the second squad member who has been primary out of the race in no small part due to the amount of money that AIPAC has dumped into a competing Democrat. A more milquetoast Democrat. A Democrat that's not going to stand up for Palestinians. She didn't give the regular concession speech that you usually get where people all try to pretend that they're happy.
For my position as Congresswoman, all you did was take some of the strings off. Let's be clear. 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 Let's talk about what it really is. Because see, now I don't have to worry about some strings that I have attached, and as much as I love my job. But all they did was radicalize me, and so now they need to be afraid. See, now they about to see this other Cori, this other side, because let me say this. I just grew up a whole lot more over the last few weeks. Just grew up a whole different way. And so what they are about to get, they think. So the thing is this. The thing is this. I don't think that anything, there is nothing that happens in my life that happens in vain. So if this happened, it's because it was meant to happen. And let me say, it's because of the work that I need to do. And let me say this. AIPAC, I'm coming to tear your kingdom down.
This reverberated across the internet, and a lot of Republicans are using it to go after the squad, and supporters of Israel are using it, saying, oh my gosh, she threatened Israel. She's anti-Semitic, which is what they're saying to begin with. Because if you don't want to see innocent people destroyed or bombed or, in Palestine, Palestinians, you must be anti-Semitic. Can't be any other reason. Went so far that it went all the way to the White House, and the White House spokesperson, Corinne, she even had to speak to her today when she was asked a question.
So, look, the president has always been very clear, and very recently after the assassination attempt of the last president, about lowering rhetoric, right? Lowering political rhetoric, and the importance of doing that. It is important that we be very mindful of what we say. This kind of rhetoric is inflammatory and divisive and incredibly unhelpful. Look, we're going to continue to condemn any type of political rhetoric in that way, in that vein. And so it is important to be mindful in what we say and how we say it. But we cannot have this type of inflammatory, divisive language in our political discourse. Not now, not ever.
And quickly on the VP decision, you said a couple times that he spoke to the vice president about her decision.
Yeah. Why come we can't expend the same amount of political capital when we're talking about black people? When I'm looking at the squad, and everybody in the squad was getting lost out, tossed out on their head, getting shellacked, are black people in the squad standing up for Palestinians. Hell, if you want to lose your job, you can lose your job fighting for Tyrone and Tina. You can lose your job fighting for Duran and Shanisha. If you want to lose your job, fight for somebody, hey, it ain't going to be that much money spent against you either. Yeah, you can do that, since you want to go out. You want to go out strong. You want to go out punching. Go out punching and be a legend. You're not a legend because you got out for this. You're not a legend because of this. At least not in the black community, not in the communities you got to go back to, particularly Cori. I know there's a lot of people sitting around in there, but I'm just saying. If that would have happened to you for standing up for us, it would have been a totally different situation. So that's the first thing, man. My first thing is, real talk, why can't I see brothers and sisters get caught up doing something for black folks? Y'all don't think black folks need help, man? We're at the bottom of the bottom financially. We're at the top of the list of a mass incarceration and at the bottom financially. And I don't see people acting like it's like what's happening to us isn't a real problem. It's a serious problem. What's happened to black Americans? Black Americans. People from this country. People from this country whose parents and grandparents, whose grandparents are from this country, whose great-grandparents are from this country, whose great-great-great-grandparents are from this country, who survived all the shit we've had to survive. They need your help. And I just wish people saw it that way. But see, here's the thing. I don't think people don't recognize it. It's just, I just believe now, I believe ain't no money in helping black folks. Maybe if you're Dr. Umar, if you're 16, 18 keys, maybe it's some money in it for you. But I mean, politically ain't no money in it for you. It's no money in it for you. I don't know how much. Now, I'm not saying you guys got paid to go out on a limb with Palestinians, but I got a feeling people on that side of the world that see your support may find a way to funnel money your way. I don't know. Maybe you did it just for humanitarian purposes. Second thing I got to say is this. What you mean the strings is off? See, I know when we get upset, we start saying stuff, and most of what we say when we upset, it be true to us. We might go a little further than we typically would go when we get pissed off, and it sounded like you were a little bit pissed off, Cori, so I wonder what the strings off means. Does that mean you were hampered in what you could do and what you could say while you were a congressperson? It seems to me like being a congressperson is when we need you to have the strings off. That's when you got power. So this is my problem with politics. This is my problem with politicians. When you have power, everybody got strings. And that ain't just Cori Bush. That's Barack Obama, too. What did he say when he got out of office? We need to do something about this. I'm going to look into it. What do you mean look into it? You ain't president no more. The time to look into it, the time to talk about rolling up your sleeves was when your ass was president. But when you're president, you're like, oh, well, I'm not the president of Black America. I'm the president of America. I can't be out here doing this and doing that. Okay. That's my major diss to all politicians. Now, I don't know if it happens with all other groups, but it happens to black people all the time. Everybody talk tough till they get in a position to actually do something, and then all of a sudden, all the rhetoric tones down, and everybody quiet. Then when they out or they're way out, then they talk tough again. Don Lemon did it in the media game. He started talking tough about black issues when the writing was on the wall. He would be leaving. This is what they do. But when they're in there and they're good, all of a sudden they're devil's advocate. All of a sudden they're quiet. So Congress, you're not allowed to be yourself. We don't know who you are. And then this happens. Once again, I'm looking at the squad and I'm wondering, why is it? The squad is made up of all people of color. And I hate that term, but you look at the makeup of the squad. Ayanna Presley's the last black person in the squad who's hanging in there. Where are my white Congress people that are willing to lose their jobs, lose their seats, fighting for Palestinians? Why is it only us fighting for Palestinians? I'm just saying, where they at? Maybe I'm missing somebody. Who else lost their seat due to AIPAC spending money in their district because they spoke up about the Gaza genocide? Who else? If I'm missing somebody, let me know, because I'm sure it's possible I missed somebody. But these are two high-profile people that lost their seats. Where everybody else at? Cori said, be afraid.
But all they did was radicalize me, and so now they be afraid.
She said, be afraid. And I can't address that part without addressing Corinne Jean-Pierre. Corinne Jean-Pierre is a scumbag.
Look, we're going to continue to condemn any type of political rhetoric in that way, in that vein. And so it is important to be mindful in what we say and how we say it. But we cannot have this type of inflammatory, divisive language in our political discourse.
She's a scumbag, and she'd rather kick a sister when she's down and offer her no assistance when she was up or down. You know damn well Cory Booker. You know damn well Cori Bush was not talking about doing anything physical to the damn AIPAC. Talk about burning down there. I know the words were kind of hot, right? But that's not talking about doing literal violence. To who?
AIPAC, I'm coming to tear your kingdom down.
Talking about an organization, not a person. Not talking about even a group of people. It's an organization that just made her lose her damn seat. I would have burned it down too if I was her. You take that opportunity to go after her. You ain't have to answer that question. There's so many other questions your punk ass avoids. But when there's one about them, but see, then again, you ain't a sister. Right? Right? You're not really a sister. You're a corporate tool, first of all. And second of all, that thing that I brought up earlier about not having parents that who's having great-grandparents in this country, like Cori Bush. She Missouri all the way, man. Her father was in the streets doing this thing. Grandfather was in the streets doing his thing. Come from a preacher. Black preachers, really black folks. From the neighborhood. But we all know you're a sellout, Corinne, and that's what you do. You take a shot at her like this. See, I'm trying to get people one to grow on, and this is my job, but it ain't your job, because what you do is not actual commentary. What you do is defend the White House and put out talking points and shit. And all I'm saying is Corinne could have just been quiet. She ain't got a comment. She told that reporter, I didn't hear about it. I really have no comment. Sounds like somebody got emotional and, I'm sure she didn't mean it in a certain way from what I hear, but I'm not certain. Next question. She could have moved it. She could have moved it on instead of saying it's inflammatory and it is divisive and unhelpful and political rhetoric and condemn and mindful of what we say and it's divisive. She used the word inflammatory a couple times. You know what's inflammatory is that you pretend to be a journalist, a commentator, or something like that. I don't know. Cori Bush, I know you're going through a bad time, sister. I just want to make it clear to you. I'm not against you. I do not have a bone to pick with you. All I'm saying is go to bat for the people that got you there. Cori Bush, take this and grow on it. When you say they have unleashed you, you are now cordless. Be cordless for us. Continue that good work you used to do in Missouri that got you in that seat. Don't compromise anything. And now that you got the name recognition across the country, use it and don't go back into that business of having to have strings on you and a muzzle on you that will keep you from hollering at your brother about real shit. Okay? Because they ain't going to be there for you. My door is open if you need anything. But I want to see you go to bat for black people just like I do. And I can say that because that's what I had to do. And that's what I'm doing. So I'm not telling you to do something that I ain't doing. And all these progressives that say they got your back, how many came out there and volunteered for you?